Introduction. This chapter presents from Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3. That consists of Introduction from Chapter 1, Literature Review from Chapter 2, and Research Methodology from Chapter 3. Background of study. Tourism is one of Malaysia's most significant industry and service sectors. The tourism industry also one of important services in the world, and it is regarded as a driver of economic development. Malaysia's Tourism Department was created in 1985 to coordinate the movement of the country's tourism industry. Research problem jobless. The purpose of this research is to find the problem statement of the negative impact in industry tourism in terms of economic during the pandemic session in Malaysia. Government. The government has been gradually implementing travel restrictions. To combat the crisis, national health and social policies have been implemented with any detail considered to ensure the safety of visitors, both at home and abroad. Health security. The government bans citizens at home and abroad from flying. As a result, any visitors attempting to reach Malaysia will be turned away.
So for our research, we have three objectives, which is first is to identify how job security among the employee affect the economic development of tourism industry. So, like we know, after COVID-19 spread in our country, the company like hotels and airlines have laid off their employees due to no tourist arrival. The second objective is to examine condition of tourist health security during COVID-19 in Malaysia. When COVID strikes in our country, the tourists need to do an inspection before travelling to avoid COVID-19 transmission. And the last objective is to identify how government controls the condition of the tourism industry in terms of COVID-19. So the government of Malaysia has issued directive to ban travel abroad or within the country, and many tourist spots have been ordered to close.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shafka Zaira and I am going to explain about the research question. Okay, first of all, a research question is the methodological point of departure of scholarly research in both natural and social science. The research will answer any question posed. Okay, first of all, our research question is to study how job security among employees affect the economic development of tourism industry. Second is to examine the condition tourists' health security during COVID-19 in Malaysia. And the third is what are the steps taken by the government towards the tourism industry during COVID-19.
Okay, the significance of study is divided into two parts, which are managerial aspects and literature aspects. Okay, in the managerial aspect, the negative impact of the tourism industry in economic terms during COVID-19 will be studied, which is faced by Malaysian in understanding the results. Okay, this research can be a reference to understand the negative impact on the tourism industry in economic terms during COVID-19. As for literature aspect, this research will make a contribution in the tourism industry, conducting standard research in addition to academic journals, especially the return on investment. Also, in addition, it can also expose students to things like the research process, which gives them a different perspective than just sharing journal concepts or even functioning in academic journal.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I will explain about literature review. Let's start with critical review of independent variable. First is government distraction. The spread of COVID-19 has prompted the Malaysian government to ban any tourism activities in the country. Next is the COVID-19 outbreak has wreaked havoc on Malaysian economy, especially the travel and tourism industry. Malaysia's government has suffered loss of up to RM 3.37 billion in the first 2 months on the year. The hotel also had to face a situation where there were bookings that had to be cancelled due to the spread of this pandemic and incurred a lot of losses. Next is jobless. Despite the risk generally faced by all economic sectors, the impact have been felt by select sectors such as tourism, logistics, industry and healthcare, the effect of COVID-19 to tourism industry has led to many companies being shut down, as vast number of people have lost their job and their main source of income. Many people have carried and suffered for them who lost their job because the sector were not able to pay the employees' salary on time. The sector suffered a great loss. It is universal healthcare and health security. It is a scheme that ensures that all residents have access to high quality medical care. Universal healthcare and health promotion are complementary, but health protection is distinct because pertain solely to the response to health risks. The protection of global public health is priority. The effort needed both preventive and reactive to reduce the dangers and impact of acute public health incidents that threaten the health of people across regional region and international boundaries are referred to as global public health protection. Lastly, I will explain about literature review of dependent variable. Negative impact of economic term. In an impact company, consumer and shareholder will challenge entrepreneurs and executives to show that they generate their profit in a manner that contribute to the public good. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTEC, estimate that the country's tourism sector has suffered loss of RM45 billion as a result of the effect of the coronavirus outbreak COVID-19.
By referring to the literature review, a research framework has been proposed in order to investigate the relationship between the impact of tourism industry in economic terms and cause of COVID-19. First conceptual framework is as shown in figure 2.1. Independent variables that been proposed consist of three impacts, which is job security, government restriction, and health security. The independent variable is the negative impact of tourism industry in economic term during the COVID-19 in Malaysia. Hypothesis based on literature review, this research study hypothesized that work to investigate the relationship between the impact of tourism industry in economic term and cause of COVID-19. As there are three hypotheses. Hypothesis 1, government restriction give a negative impact of tourism industry in economic term during COVID-19. Hypothesis 2, job loss give a negative impact of tourism industry in economic term during COVID-19. Hypothesis 3, health security give negative impact of the tourism industry in economic term during COVID-19. Chapter review the cause that were relevant to investigate element. The suggested philosophical structure will be developed based on analysis of the literature. It wants to investigate the interaction between both of the independent and dependent variables.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurashira binti Muhammad Chambaswar. I would like to explain about research methodology. There are two research methodologies that I will describe in this study, namely methods and data sources. For the methods, we are using non-probability convenience sampling method as the sampling technique. Non-probability sampling can be explained in a way that for some studies it is not feasible to draw a random probability-based sample of the population due to time and cost considerations. Therefore, the convenience sampling method applied in this study. The respondents of the survey will be the tourism workers, for example, hotels workers, tour guide, and so on. Lastly, for data resources, we are using survey and questionnaire for our respondents. For questionnaire, in the research question and research objective, Likert scale has applying to know the degree of negative impact in industry tourism in terms of economy during pandemic season in Malaysia. In this study, SPSS software has been used to produce a result from the data collected through questionnaire distributed to the respondents. For a survey, the survey is designed to accumulate all the information pertaining to the objective of the study. Workers chosen as the representative of consumers that gives opinion about negative impact in industry tourism in terms of economic during pandemic season in Malaysia. As a conclusion, the expected finding is that the negative effect study will turn into positive effects. This can change the perspective of the whole community in order to take the next step if the COVID-19 epidemic will get worse. In addition, the results of this study are also expected to achieve all the findings that want to be obtained so that, to some extent, can acquire new knowledge to the whole community. Thank you.